Welcome to What Matters Most.
We are dedicated to educating the community about holistic, metaphysical, and spiritual topics.
Each week, we discuss things that matter most in life, the things that are most important to you that may have fallen to the wayside.
We are always centered on the idea of simplifying life, connecting with our neighbors, and following our true paths.
Our mission is to empower you to live the life that you've always dreamed of living.
We invite you to focus your life on what matters most. Welcome to What Matters Most. I'm Kristen.
I'm Maria.
From Experience Nirvana, and today we'll have with us Eric Jonathan Willis, who is the founder of Mahalaya Eco-Spiritual Center.
Yeah, we were really very privileged to have Eric on the show with us. We had not heard anything about this beforehand, and happened to more or less kind of stumble on it through his Facebook site, actually, where some bits and pieces of information he's been sharing as the process is evolving. But it's really rather, I think, a very unique concept in this eco-living. I know there are a lot of eco-living type of environments coming up across the country, and his takes it to another dimension, or another level, I should say, of experience. And his vision and the vision that he's looking to impart on the world is really quite substantial and significant. Yeah. So I'm really excited, and I can't wait for you to be able to hear all the details that he'll be sharing a little bit later. But if we were to give you maybe just a nutshell to kind of prepare you, it's not just a living environment. It's also going to be include sustainable living. Eventually, there'll be people will be approached, and there'll be a barter type of system, perhaps even their own unique monetary systems.
Own currency.
Sacred geometry elements will be incorporated into the
I
architecture.
think they're even incorporating feng shui. I think it's almost going to be like
all-inclusive, anything that you could think of.
Anything holistic or spiritually minded, while being friendly with the earth, I think is really the idea of it. It seems like his idea is very almost predestined.
Yeah, right.
It seems like all of the pieces that he had just fit so perfectly together. It almost seems like it's meant to be. It really.
Oh, it definitely is something that is meant to be, and
I think he's really making quite a big impact on this world, and I think his vision is very. It's a big vision, but
also very grounded, which we think is very inspiring to be able to have the opportunity to talk to somebody that has such a phenomenal vision. Not only phenomenal vision, but also the business savvy elements associated with it, the grounding aspects, and being able to combine it all together and share that information with you, which we are hoping that as time goes on and as the process continues to evolve, we will be sharing more and more information that will give you glimpses of what to be prepared for when Mahalaya is actually available. Yeah, for people,
and how to actually and how to be a part of it. So stay tuned. We have Eric Willis coming up next. You're listening to What Matters Most, and we'll be right back. And we're back with What Matters Most, and we're here with Eric Willis, CEO and founder of Mahalaya. Eric is a visionary, 5D architect, and social entrepreneur who is dedicated to co-creating and the ushering in of new systems, ideas, businesses, organizations, and ways of living that reflects the totality of the whole person while maintaining sustainable living. Eric pursued a degree in computer science, later to be followed by a degree in sustainable entrepreneurship. Since then, he has started a project that was called from the divine, entitled Mahalaya. Welcome, Eric. Thank you so much for being with us.
Yes, thank you, Eric.
Thank you both for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
You're very welcome, and we were thinking that maybe what you should do is explain to our viewers a little bit of the concept of what Mahalaya is actually all about.
Sure. Mahalaya, actually.
Okay.
Mahalaya.
Mahalaya is the actual correct pronunciation of it. And really what it is, I mean, what people most know it by is a new kind of eco-village or sustainable community or communities that we're working on. I think the eco-village movement is something you guys are probably familiar with, or intentional communities and whatnot, that really embody a more sustainable way of living, which we all are moving towards. But outside of that, it's really something much more. Mahalaya, and the way the name came to me and the energy behind it, it's really something I feel that is an entity of all its by itself. And very feminine and nurturing in its nature, and really is something that is kind of ushering in or allowing us to utilize for all kinds of different businesses or organizations or systems and whatnot. Because what Mahalaya really represents is not just the community itself, but this whole new way of living that we're moving into.
Oh, that's a wonderful concept. So, Eric, what exactly happened that planted the seed into your head to start Mahalaya?
It was really a work in progress, and as I'm sure you guys know, a lot of us, especially in the spiritual community, are really trying to listen to, what is our soul purpose? What are we here for? What is our mission? And for me, it was no different. And I started getting little glimpses of it over a period of time, and knew it had to do with these new communities that were popping up and different things. And I had a lot of experiences and started traveling, and was really guided to study sustainability, study new types of systems, new ways of living that we can really incorporate and transmute or transform the current ones that we're in right now. As that started to become clearer and clearer to me, that was kind of when this name came to me. I came across some land first. I really started to feel strongly about the energy of this land and what it really meant. And then I asked, really, what was the name of this? What was the name of this land? I knew it was something sacred, and that what we were working on was more than just a sustainable community, but really a breathing, living temple. And when I asked that question, that's when I got the name. And it was really confirmed to me because at the time I didn't really know, I knew the name was sacred, but I didn't really know what it meant. And recognizing that it was a Sanskrit word, and looking at it when it was broken down, Maha, meaning great, you're familiar with that, with, Mahatma, great soul, or something along those lines. And then Alaya, or, Americans would pronounce it Alaya, but it's really Alaya. And you're probably most familiar with that from the Himalayas.
Oh, right, sure. I wasn't even thinking that. Yeah.
So broken down the same way, Himalaya is really the abode of the snow, him meaning snow, and the Alaya meaning the abode. So when you put it together, literally translated, it is the great abode or the great dwelling, Mahalaya. And then when I broke it down even more, it was more than that, because Alaya actually had deeper spiritual meanings or esoteric meanings. And I found out that it actually meant the 8th consciousness that holds the other 7 consciousness.
Really? Wow.
And exactly. And it even also, it had kind of these double, triple meanings. And then I found out that Alaya also was considered to be the soul of the world, or the seed consciousness. So I started to really understand that this name, again, it was more than the anchoring in of this into a particular location, but it was a whole new energy that was coming in, and an entity unto itself. And it was at that time I really understood the magnitude of this and where we're going, and felt this really an honor to be the steward of a project like this and the energy that's behind that. And yeah, it's been a beautiful and exciting period ever since.
So do you feel then that there's a significant relevance to the establishment of this seed location, this primary location?
I do.
I was going to say, because I'm feeling that from the way you're talking, that somehow this one is like the anchor, the criticalness of the many more to come.
I absolutely do. And I haven't released the location of it publicly yet.
Yes.
And really, the team we've put together and the organization itself, we want to create multiple communities, whether urban communities and rural communities and whatnot. But this particular location, I do feel that it has to do with the anchoring in of this energy. It definitely is kind of the blueprint, I would say.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Right. So, how long have you actually been working on this project?
Yeah.
When did this all start?
Well, really, the project itself, again, it's been manifesting as more and more of it was revealed to me over a period of time. So it's probably started 3 years ago,
awesome.
as far as when it first started to come to me. But just in very small little pieces. I was traveling all over all kinds of different places, and really just being led by spirit as far as what is trying to be revealed, what is trying to be brought through. And at one point I traveled to Arkansas, and that place is really special and what's actually happening there, and traveled to Egypt, traveled to Peru, traveled to a lot of different places, just getting pieces of this. But it wasn't until the beginning of 2011, this year, where really it started to come together with clarity for me.
Really?
And that's when the name was given to me, and that's when this land was shown to me. That's when things started to move rather quickly as well.
Very interesting.
And it's been a really interesting thing too, because for me, what I realized in stepping into my own soul purpose or life path sort of thing, when I really got in alignment with that, things started to open up, and I could see this new way of creation, this co-creation that we all talk about, and how things are going to work a little bit differently, how we manifest things. And I realized too that Mahalaya, it's not just ushering in this energy, but in itself it is a teacher of co-creation. And this process of everything that's being done with it is almost like a treatise of co-creation. So it's really been a blessing in so many different ways.
Great. Well, we do have to go to a quick break, so you're listening to What Matters Most, and we'll be right back.